Welcome, and you are watching Prime Morning. My name is Roslyn Felly. It's now time for us to delve into serious issues. This is the Beyond the Headlines segment. I don't even know how to start because this is quite worrying, the unemployment rate. However, there are alternatives. Now, is the government doing enough? As parents, are we doing enough to let our children know that it's not about people employing you, but you can employ yourself and even employ others? Well, we'll be talking about that right here. We have a video we want you to watch, and when we come back, we speak to the experts about this particular issue. Stay with us.
Frustrated and lost in thought as she reminisces the crowning of her academic toils, Teresa Edusei graduated with first-class honors in information studies and psychology from the University of Ghana. She was hopeful of landing a lucrative white-collar job. 3 years on, that hope has diminished.
It was very heartbreaking because I thought it was my breakthrough. Because I think on my graduation day when I called my dad, not my biological dad too, but they both came, including my mom. And then he was like, I've made him proud, but then he's not so happy I had the first class. I was like, why? And then he said, with a first class, getting a job in this country is very difficult. And I really felt sad. I was like, it's my day. It's not easy getting first class, and so even not for anything, I should just be happy on this day. So when I applied for civil service, I went through the interview and everything. I thought I was going to prove him wrong, only for me to find out I wasn't called. From 2019, when I was about completing service, that was when I started a job hunt. Because I know with civil servants, it's very difficult for them to pick you unless you apply. So as I was doing my service, about leaving, so 2019 through to 2021, I've tried more than 5. If I should add LinkedIn, it should be more than 10. You send CVs, you don't get feedback.
Teresa desperately appealed to many influential people, including her pastor, to help her land a good job. But all efforts came to nothing.
I've given my CVs out. My district pastor is even one. I've given my CVs out to him. I've sent CVs to a couple of people in church. I've told people, so this is my qualification. If you hear of anything you think it would be of good use to me, just let me know. And then up till now, I haven't heard anything from anybody.
Societal and family pressures kept mounting, and being the first child of 5, she felt burdened to get a job to support her younger siblings. After years of job search and with no glimmer of hope, the first-class graduate decided to turn her hobby into a day job: hairdressing.
And I told my daddy, I want to get a shop. I was like, shop for what? I was like, I have passion for hair. And then he was like, okay. So they really supported me. With the help of others, we set up the place. That was just last year. My mom wasn't okay. They really supported me and everything, but she was like, so if I'm with my friends and then they ask me, I'm like, oh, my UG, she has graduated first class, it's why day, or a hairdresser. She feels so embarrassed. And I'm like, you don't ask them for money. I don't ask them for money. Now I don't ask you for money. Though it is not an official or it's not a 9-to-5 job, but there's things I can feed myself. If my siblings need something, I can support. I feel it's okay.
Class Hairdresser in the papa. Easy and you better my family angie because Ebusiani Libby. Restaurant to loan your Quajian and Mimitia half. Once or Barney man loans, Mimitia and Papa and Shetia, Yetia. It's a class of a hairdresser and it's really dear man. When we saw by a hairdresser, I don't want me out for a hairdresser. No, my yeah, we are going to do our post school now, which I have by a hairdresser. You know, Miss Bissam say, and to meet Tiffy, and to the Bian Mobile scam and see, oh, be away. Kana ya meya na adom na se onya adwuma na wagya na okonte mam dimi tigi bai ankofo se mi gya no de ope no ono ayen sesi ano mato ama no aya me ya bai o se mi ntumi enforce no.
Others were like, so I try to tell us that your parents have wasted their money, the money they pay for your tuition, your whole fees and everything is wasted. Why don't you get? And they make you feel like you are not pushing her to get a job. if only they were in my shoes and then they know the attempts I've made and then it hasn't worked so well for me, they would understand. And they're like, so you've made up your mind you are going to work with this hair thing, you won't do any other thing. I'm like, I'm not getting it, so what do you want me to do? It's better than me just sitting at home doing nothing in the morning and work to my parents and go for money. Sometimes they really say some things and then you really feel bad. But then you just say to yourself, you are doing so well for yourself, so just keep pushing.
Teresa's story reflects thousands of young brains struggling to make ends meet in an economy that constantly churns out more graduates than it creates jobs. According to data from the University of Ghana's Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, only 10% of graduates find work within a year after graduation. Furthermore, according to the 2021 Population and Housing Census, youth unemployment is at 19.7%, a 118.89% increase from 9% between 2017 and 2020. Simply put, youth unemployment in Ghana has more than doubled from 9% on average between 2017 and 2020 to 19.7% in 2021. It's been 6 months since Teresa built this container saloon. She did it with the help of her father and a few close friends. At the very least, this weans her of financial support from her parents.
I didn't learn it. Whilst I was on campus, I used to style my own hair. And then I used to style for my roommates too as well. In fact, they helped me discover my talent. Business is fine, so far so good.
The urge to hunt for a job had died down.
No.
Teresa is no longer interested in furthering her education. She fears pursuing a master's degree may even compound her woes.
I'm not thinking about my master's now because I feel if I do my master's, the opportunity of me staying back home is high without getting a job.
For now, all she needs is some capital to expand her business.
I wouldn't want to quit this job because I have bigger plans for this job. I really need financial support. I made inquiries on getting a shop with its equipment, like up-to-date equipment and everything. And then it amounts to close to 100,000 Ghana cedis. If I'm able to raise that amount of money and set up that business, I'm actually going to employ a lot of people because I really have a lot in mind. But now the capital to get that is the issue now. Sincerely, she's really good, very good. Actually, don't like.
And this is the conversation that we are delving into. It's about finding alternatives to Ghana's educationist issues. I have with me Anis Hafa, who is an educationist, and he's going to help us with this. Also joining us via Zoom is Krofe Nana Yeboah, who is a transformational coach. Good morning, Hafa.
Good morning. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you so much for being here today. And let me join Scrofe online. Hi, Scrofe, are you there? Hello, Scrofe. Okay, I think we're having some technical problems, but he'll definitely join us. Now, watching this video, it speaks a lot about what's happening, and I see it as a mentality issue. What is happening? Why are the youth complaining about unemployment when there's so much they can do with their lives?
Fantastic. You know, I will start with my own example. The way I was raised in this country through the educational system. For example, when I was in secondary school, I studied French for about 4 years.
Okay.
But I couldn't speak it. I studied music for about 4 years on a piece of paper, crotchets, semi-crotchets, and the rest of it. But I couldn't even play a flute. So in a way, the education victimizes us. Here we are thinking that we're going to make something out of our lives. And one of the ways to do it is to go to school and learn some skills. But we don't learn skills in schools. So that is the disappointment. Now, the idea is this. You know, there are key educational outcomes that we need to be aware of. When you have a degree, like this young lady, it's a potential. When you have first class, it's a potential. At the end of the day, an accomplishment is exactly what you do with what you have. You know, so when I speak to young people who are going to the universities and that sort of thing, and I have to give them ideas, the first thing I ask them to do is this. It's one of the most important things, frankly, is the ability to be able to read and write.
Right.
But when you get to the schools, the first thing that you want to look at is this. Where are the computer labs where you can learn some skills? Where are the innovation spaces where you can learn some skills? Where are the science workshops where you can learn skills? These are some of the most important things. But what we have in this country is that we have large lecture rooms where we go to listen. When you are listening, you are not developing a skill.
We don't have enough practicals, is that what you're saying?
That is it. So this whole idea of where you go to university to go to listen to lectures, have information that you repeat for scores and that sort of thing, those things are passé. For example, where you have to do multiple choice, true, false, and those sort of things, they are all passé. What we need now is called authentic assessment. In other words, what is it that you can do? But then the issue is this. Those who are teaching our youngsters, how prepared are they themselves as practitioners? So that's a key thing that
but then won't you also say that, you know, our current system could be a problem? Because some of us growing up, when we're doing the life skills, we had practicals. When we're doing home econs, we had practicals. So the practicals has been there. I don't know if your time the practicals was not there, but with our time the practicals, I mean, I did home econs, we did cooking. We were cooking, we had practicals, life skills, we were sewing and all of that, you know. And so I have mates who have embraced this. But currently, the system, they are not doing this. Could it be so? Or in the past as well, your time, you were not doing practicals as well?
Frankly, when we were in the elementary school, we were doing these things. We had, I started school in a little village in Accra, Obuasi, and everyone had a little plot of land where you grow things. But look at the 30,000 or so students in university, for example. And the question you want to ask is this, on a day-to-day basis, what is it that they do? You see, what we've done is that after our colonial times, we try to emulate the white officers, you know, where you don't get your hands dirty. Where, frankly, I know cases where by the side of the door of every civil servant who was white, there was a messenger who ran back and forth for you. You know, so our education is slated towards sitting in a cushioned office. You know, that is what people are looking for. So after you've got your degree, you are looking for a job where you go and sit and be pampered and that sort of thing. But those days have changed. You know, now what we're pushing is this. For example, if you look at, again, back to skills that we're talking about, there's a school where I did training for here in Accra. Now what they do is that they use chemistry to produce soap. In our time, it wasn't like that. You can do all the chemical equations and that sort of thing, but they are producing soap as a product. So the issue was this. The key educational outcomes. For all the education that you get in, what is a product that you can produce to make another person's life easier? For all the education that you get in, what is a service that you are providing that can add value to another person's life? Or for all the education that you get in, what are the solutions to societal problems that you can be known for and even develop those things as entrepreneurs? I mean, I doubt very much that in a school setting,
we don't have it.
Do that. No, I doubt it. Because look, the idea, let me share this with you. The idea is that we have to encourage young people to have visions, like what this young lady does. She has vision of being an entrepreneur in some way. But I'll tell you this, that was never supported in a school. And then the other thing is this, a vision is where, let me define that, it's where you have like your head in the clouds. And you are beginning to foresee something that is authentic for you, an aptitude that you have, an interest that you have that you want to develop into something else. That is your vision. Now the mission is that you have to have your legs on the ground. What are the approaches, or what are the relevant courses, where are the places that you're going that to make those visions happen? So if you look at a new school now, the African Leadership University in Mauritius, they don't give you a degree in sociology or psychology or whatever it is. Your degree is your purpose. What is that you want to do when you leave this establishment? So that by the time you've left it, you are really clear on the direction that you want to take. And within the 4 years that you are there are support systems that will make sure that when you leave, you have a clear idea of exactly what it is that you want to do.
Right. Let me go on Zoom right now. Scruffy is on. Hello. Good morning, Scruffy.
Hi. Good morning, Rosalind, if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. How are you today?
Very good here.
Right. You are a transformational coach. So let me ask you, what is it that we are not doing right by telling the youth that they feel that they need only white-collar jobs before they know that they have a job?
Thank you very much. And listening or watching the young lady's story, I feel very excited because in the area of the things I do, this is one of the alternatives. We are proposing to government and also proposing to young people. If you listen to her story, she used two particular clear words that is important to people like us in what we do. She said that I am passionate, or this is something I have passion for. Then two, she said, I thank my classmate who allowed me to play with their hair and that of mine to unearth my talent. Mm-hmm. So actually, we are designed to evolve and evoke our capabilities from such depths. I agree with Anis in your studio that the challenge is we have a different understanding when it comes to even the word talent. We have a different understanding when it comes to the term passion. So if you check, anytime you hear a typical Ghanaian talking about passion, it's about games. It's about entertainment. If you hear anybody trying to bring to meaning the word talent, it's all about games. It's about entertainment. So we've created a deep-seated stereotypes and status quo that box people who have this capabilities through even the vocational technical sector. So if somebody, for instance, gets 9 ones, 10 ones, automatically that person goes straight into senior high school. But in certain jurisdictions, those talents are shifted or drafted into vocational technical system of education, so that because technical and vocational sits right in the left hemisphere of the brain, which is innovative driven. In our case, no, we push all our best brains with that mindset that if you are talented and it is about fidgeting with things, creating things with your hand, at the back of our mind, which is the sad story in our case, is, well, you open and fix things, you end up like the carpenter on the street, you end up like the man fixing our television at the small corner. But look at the lady's story. What we say in our area of coaching is no knowledge is irrelevant.
Right.
Now she's going through 4 years of education as a psychologist. Guess what? The very talent she's exposing, the very talent she's working with, has a certain underpinning psychological impact on even her. Look at her face now. Having found a job that she is doing out of her passion, which is a hard set, she beams with so much smile, she beams with so much confidence. She is now resisting even those talks that does not encourage her. That is the potency of self-worth psychology. So she will be deploying that which she learned in school in psychology in the very area she is in. So those who are on the street, who may go straight into learning a skill and a trade, they may not be able to catch up with this young lady, all because she's got something she can transport